YouTube also. Wait, did I? Hmm. Well, that was early. This got derailed. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Stream ping, stream ping. Yes, yes, stream ping. Okay, and and it's on. I didn't go to the dashboard. Hmm. Hmm. Where's the dashboard? Channel creator dashboard. Channel creator. That's great. Oh no, that's me. That was me. The sound of me. Um, it seems like I fixed the thingamabob, also called the chat, and I'm sitting a bit too far away because I'm so relaxed. I'm so relaxed I could fall asleep because that's me being relaxed. I just ate too much food. That's a piece of paper. Get that shit out of here. Um, yeah, I ate way too much food. I watched the newest episode of Jetlag, the video game, and the penultimate episode, in fact. I'm I'm pretty sure that this works. I'm going to assume that it works. It is a little awkward because Stream Elements is well, hello. Because I'm not. Oh boy, guess who isn't supporting special characters in the new chat? Yeah, that's right, me. I'm not supporting special characters, and I'm thinking, considering, if yeah, that is also a special character. Yes, in fact, to all of those zero VOD watchers. Oh shoot, they don't work either. Now that is funny and also kind of irrelevant. Guess I have something to work on. And maybe a fade out isn't such a bad idea. It is crazy that backslash is enough of a special character to not be included. Let's see. The numbers, the numbers, they're all right. Yeah, as I was saying, uh, I'm super tired. Wait, oh, I'm not streaming anything because there was an update, but I just finished. Sorry, it is the forward slash. My bad. And let's see the for some reason. Okay, let's see what Carsten wrote here. Comma? No, that doesn't count. Commas are stupid. Punctuation marks, they're alright. Dashes, we'll accept those. And then I think it is the single quotation mark. That one is accepted. And then question mark. Not exclamation point, not plus. You can make a dash, but not a plus. We can only subtract stuff. Oh yeah. I dressed up my oh sorry. I dressed up my black mage. So you'll have to have me excused. Very confused and very the opposite of hungry, very overfull. And now I am I'm just kind of getting into it. I was watching the penultimate episode. Great word, by the way. What the? I was watching the. Now that's a lot of symbols there, and none of those are legible. I can't believe you didn't put in the euro sign. Anyway. Um. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, I went here because alright. So I talked to a guy who knows a little bit about how to play this video game, and he was like, "Hey, Sigurd, you know what? Oh, nice clothing. That's the Final Fantasy IX Black Mage, I think. Anyway, he was like, okay, Sigurd, let me tell you about how the damage rotation is supposed to work. And then he showed me the exact same damage rotation that I usually do, which is start with this, fire 3, and now we're running. And then we throw in the dot. Then I throw out these. Let's put a ley line so it goes a little faster. And then I throw all of these, and then you can see I run out of mana. Okay, and now I have 0 mana. And then I do Blizzard 3, bam. And now I'm set. I have full mana, and I can do this again, I suppose. I have full mana, and you can see these 3 ticks. These 3 ticks make the next 3 fire 4 that I'm doing cheaper. See, the tick disappears, the tick disappears, and then the tick disappears. And sometimes, hold on, and sometimes you end up with an uneven amount of mana left. See, now what do? Do I cast Fire 4? Or do I cast... Well, sorry, I can't cast Fire 4. Do I cast Blizzard 3 to get full mana again? Or I can cast Flare. Flare is less powerful than Fire 3 because it has a potency damage of 240 and this one has a damage of 300. If I do this, it says all because it takes the rest of the mana. It's also AoE. And we figured out, you've always heard to cast Flare. I can tell you, in fact, that casting Flare is a reduction of damage. And now, hazard a guess to how much of a reduction, according to my pal who showed me. That's right, a 0.1% damage drop off. So, what I can conclude is, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm doing it somewhat optimally. It's 0.1%, yes. So, if you want to do it like mathematically correct and perfect, you would technically only want to cast Flare if the target is on low health. Right? Because then you can finish off the target faster. However, 0.1%, it don't matter. So that's yeah. Yeah, so that's what I figured out. Oh no, I'm in combat. Hold on. Let me figure out how to leave combat. Also, manipulation. Invalid targets. This ethereal manipulation is like a teleport to allies. I need to use it more. I'm still in combat with the... Okay, there we go. The target dummy forgot my existence. Oof. Okay, so I mentioned I wouldn't be doing anything until next time. I did do one thing. If you look at this... Wait, it's way too big, hold on. If you notice, then I have this new swanky, slightly different chat overlay. This is the chat overlay I made myself. Therefore, I want to be using it. I don't know if it looks better or if it looks worse, but it looks better to me because I made it, and that makes me proud. Yeah, I fixed it. It was like one thing that was missing from the CSS, because I changed like some other thing, and then I just had to figure out what to put in that I had forgotten. And Adam, the top is a little wrong. Ah, yeah, that's true. It's because it's set to always visible. I'm sure of it. Okay. Well, you know how it goes. You know how it is. I'll just turn on this display capture. This one, see, overflow visible important. This should not be visible. It should be hidden, I think is the keyword. Yes. And then we'll just hit it with a quick bam reset. and then I have to hit this with like the chat itself with a quick refresh, and now it's definitely going to be fixed. There's no way it isn't fixed, and if it isn't fixed, I'll just be sad and cry. And also, let me just pull this guy over and do the display capture again. See when I mouse over. Oh no. See, when I mouse over this is the hidden, all of these hidden chats and stuff I have. Yeah, I'm never removing those because I'm way too lazy. But you know, now they are there. And they will disturb me whenever I try to grab anything. And oh goodness. Yeah, so I was watching Jetlag the game right before stream started, and I was like, you know, when you're lounging back and you're lying on your back, but it's like that part of the lower back where the lower back meets the upper back, and your back, it like bends a little more, and there's like 2 or 3 spine bones that poke out more. Yeah, I was lying on those, and I was eating rice with the bowl on my chest, and just like having no energy, and like, damn, this is a good episode of Jetlag the game. I really like this show. Also, repping Jetlag here on this channel, repping something that is way more entertaining. Go watch it. Wait, where am I going? Oh, I'm going all the way around. Can I go through here? I don't think I can. Yeah, so and I was just enjoying life by, you know, doing nothing. And then I looked at the time, and it was 4 minutes until stream start. I was like, I do not have the energy for this. Oh no. Also, I'm ruining the immersion. I was supposed to have traveled to this location before stream start. I think the next step, the next thing I want to make for the stream is probably an intro and outro, because that means I can start the intro, that means the stream also 30 minutes before, so people have time to see, oh, I got pinged on Discord, ooh, Adam has written to me, because, you know, that's the only way to get viewers on this channel. I was also a little concerned about, you know, there's a risk whenever you start a new channel, like, I'll get on that. yeah. There is a certain risk, which is maybe why I'm slightly averse to dragging in people I already know. I'm afraid it might become an echo chamber, which is why, even though I know everyone in chat, I try to avoid referring to any of you directly or by name, or I essentially handle you as somewhat of strangers. And yeah, it's going to keep being like that, because, well and truly, even though, how do I say this? I might as well just stream in Danish. I might as well just stream just for you, and I might as well stream on Discord. But I don't really want to do that. I kind of want to meet a bunch of randoms on the internet. That could also be kind of fun, you know? And also to challenge myself a little bit and not fall into the regular habits and the regular, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's like, this is how people do the streamings thing, and I wanted to try and do the streaming things, and now it's pretty funny, and now I don't want to not do the stuff that I think is funny. I don't really have much of an idea of what I'm doing. I've just decided to do the thing, and then put on this weird little act that I'm doing. So, and now you're stuck listening to it as third monitor content, second monitor content, if I've been upgraded to all of that, for Adam first monitor content because he's just that nice. I was about to make a terrible comment about him not being nice, but that would be a lie. He's only bad when he's a mod. So, you know, yeah. So that's whenever you see him or interact with him, Carsten, that's when he's that's when he's bad. But otherwise, he's really nice. Oh, goodness. Well, they've been waiting for a week. Otherwise, you know, I went and I bought a suit yesterday. I can talk about this for a bit because I think we need a handful of people for dungeon, and I think I can write into the server. I can write in general, and I can write hello. I am at the price of freedom. Me Ken has help, question mark. So now that that's done, I have time to figure out how the friends list thing works. I have no friends online. Which is strange because I'm pretty sure I saw Rubio sort of online. To go into Final Fantasy. Maybe he's just playing some Mahjong. And that is a-okay. And yes. We got one react from Adam. Oh, he in dungeon. Alright. Then I'll just, you know, do what I definitely cannot do, and then entertain. And entertain I can by talking. So yeah, I went to buy a suit. I don't really know much about suits, so I just talked to the guy about like, hello, I have to find something to wear for a wedding. I thought I would be wearing these dress pants that I'm currently wearing. But then I remembered, oh wait, the dress code said suits or smoking. So therefore, I don't really know what a smoking is, but I kind of know what a suit is. So I was like, okay, help me find a suit. And then he just pulled up a couple of monochrome colored suits, and I was like, why are suits so boring? I cannot believe they all have to look so drab. So I got something in dark green, but because at least dark green has some colors. I'm a little afraid that I'm going to look like Mr. Green, but I think Mr. Green is like lighter green. If he's not internationally known, then I'll just explain what he is. He is like the mascot for gambling. Because you are allowed to make... you are allowed to commercialize gambling in this country for some reason. I do not agree with that. I think gambling is a plague upon the world, and the only reason we should condone its existence is because illegal gambling rings are worse than the legal ones. Just like with smoking, at least you can control what's in the cigarettes and the pipes and the stuff when it is government owned. Of course, this is because I am a government truster, like some fool, some idiot, some gullible dunce. Yeah. So I got the green suit, and then I got a flowery dress shirt for underneath, so stuff is happening, and it's at least a little colorful with some white and blue. And then he picked out a purple tie. I was like, oh sorry, he picked out a blue tie, and I was like, this is a little boring. How about this purple one instead? And then, as the great salesman he is, he was like, Oh, well, if you like it, he thinks inside his head, if he likes it, in that case, I'm going to say, yeah, it looks great, it looks amazing on you. I think it fits really well with the green. And I was like, hell yeah, I know something about fashion. And then when I left, I was like, wait, hold on a minute. Maybe I don't know anything, but he was like going along with it. And then I also got some dress shoes, because I have literally nothing in the way of nice stuff. I hate you. I'm actually not in one of the richest municipalities in Denmark, I think. Because I'm just outside of it. Also, nice dogs, you fucking idiot. Yeah, so... So now I have some fancy clothes that I'm going to wear literally one time, because the next time I'm going to have a use for a suit is a funeral. And I mean, if it's my funeral, I don't really care what I'm wearing. That's someone else's deal. Oh goodness, what is happening to the chat? Okay. So that doesn't look too good. Beautiful. Let me try and just not set this to... Is it because it's position relative? Or what does position do in CSS? Let's take a look at this together. And now that Bounce Mr. Daddy 69 is here, he's going to be like, this looks, you're doing it wrong 50 times, because he's so judgy. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we do CSS and then we write relative keyword. Don't use relative. Dot important. No, please don't. See, this is exactly what I mean. Okay, let's close this off. So you're saying just delete this? I can do that. And then we serve it and we swerve it. And then it's supposedly back up as soon as I click this refresh button. Supposedly. But who knows? No, I'm not letting you fix it. Get wrecked. It has already been fixed. And it is perfect. I can't believe I didn't notice it, chat. What do you mean you doubt it? I can't believe you doubt me. Yeah, so suit, purple, fashion. That's what I did yesterday. Otherwise, I've just been busy by being out, and I will be out for every weekend in the foreseeable future. But I found out there's a vacation, and that's pretty neat. That means I actually have time to do some random stuff, which I then probably will. And by random stuff, I mean probably some stuff for the stream, some setup. So I'm making sure that this bot, if I click exclamation mark, the Discord. That didn't work. Well, Adam, why didn't it work? I know I set it up. I'm pretty sure it should work. No? Is it because I toggle YouTube? The exclamation mark Discord paste. Bam. Nope. It doesn't work. At least not for me. Maybe it's just... Oh, no, wait. No, that doesn't make sense. Well, is it because I haven't modded? Is it... have I set it to... In Twitch it works. It also works in YouTube, but you know what doesn't work? That's right. The chat. Okay. Back up it goes. Bam. Bam. Alright. So when the overflow was... Whoops. Dragging stuff around. This is what it's all for. And then we try to swerve it again. And do a reset. I would guess it's a problem with sizing of messages. I don't think it's a sizing thing. I think it's because the when the overflow was set to, yeah, I mean it is an overflow problem because the moment I tried to change overflow, that's when all of this stuff happened. So what are the available keywords for overflow? Hold on. Overflow. Wait, or was it relative that I changed? You know. Visible hidden scroll auto. Scroll bars are added. User must scroll to see all content. Auto similar to scroll, but adds scroll bars only when necessary. Yeah, there he goes again, yelling about stuff that, you know, the best way to help others is definitely to just say, you're doing it wrong, and then offer to fix it, instead of, you know, because that creates like a dependency, right? Yeah, exactly. Doesn't want to share the solution, because if he monopolizes knowledge, then no one will ever become smarter, and that's when he remains the smarty. Let us do it together. Heart emoji. Yeah, you can't see the heart emoji. Unsupported special characters. Cough. Oh goodness. So, yeah, and then I traveled for the weekend, and I am going to travel next weekend as well for the wedding, and then the next weekend again, a little bit of travel, and then I'm going to travel the next 2 weekends after that. So you should use Flexbox. Interesting. I still have the display open. Align items. Saying Flexbox. Is that a? It is not. It is a something for. No, I remember seeing it. Align display block. Is it here? No, wait. Flexbox. There it is. Right? I'm pretty sure it's the display that is the Flexbox. Display flex. Flex? Okay. Well, then let's try that. And then we live to serve. And then we live to refresh. So, you know, that's certainly something. Ready for things to be much worse. I love it when things are much worse. It is much worse already. Oh, right, that's why it wasn't supposed to be flex. Wait, hold on. Flex, and then... No, because this is supposed to be block. Wait, what was this? Again, it was block. Okay, so this is supposed to be block and break word. You said important are bad, so we'll just remove this important, I guess. Inside the dot message, make the flex direction column. Alright. Flex direction column. Because we put it in here. Like so the chat box has the direction for column, but this is for the individual messages that will display them on top of each other. Yes, that does make sense. Yes. Okay, so now it's perfect and nothing will ever break. Because why would it? Oh, he wrote test? That's crazy. And type? Ooh, what is your type? That's right. It is Kamchatka. Word is a terrible program. Nope. 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 Oh goodness. And now we've messed it up to a point where I can't quite remember how it looked before. It's now the outer box. Let's see. If we do... We haven't messed anything up. No, that's right. We know exactly who messed this up. And it's Bounce Daddy 69. The outer box can now just be a regular display. Ah, alright. A regular display. What are the... block? So... I suppose I could just delete the display if you say regular display. Or block. I think block is default. Yeah. Things rarely make much sense in CSS. Just remove it. No. If block is default, it might as well be there, because it essentially, because it informs me. While I'm still stupid, I would like to think for things to be explicit. Or it should be now it should be reverse column. Column reverse. Yeah, so get wrecked. I'm resetting. And also it doesn't work. This should render it in the opposite direction. So what I just did, the column reverse, I think. But we'll only know when you begin writing. And font weight, block. No, that it didn't work. Damn, that is confusing. Then this guy should be reverse. Column reverse. And this guy should be deleted. And we'll just do a quick whippity boop. The think flex box does anything when it isn't flex. Ah, yeah. That makes sense. Also, so now because it does do something, because it swapped the position of the name and the message, which, you know, isn't what we want. But that one is flex. That one is flex. Yes. Yes. Ignore everything I just said. Okay, so, but it still goes out on the bottom. Position fixed with... Okay. And you mentioned, yeah, okay, so if it doesn't do anything... Interesting. Display. Okay, so these work fine. And then we have message. I think perhaps I might consider taking this and moving it up so it's a little easier to read. Justify content flex end. This is the thing that's supposed to make it wrap, I believe. No, because this isn't for the messages. I don't know what justify content does. Let's read it. Aligns flex items along the main axis of the current line of the flex container. That's very cool. I'll delete that. Yeah, exactly. Also for flex boxes. And the... Yeah, these are supposed to be there. This is for animation. And that's just color. Actually try this. Okay. Okay. Excited. Oh, wait a second. Are you trying to write me on Discord? Goodness gracious. This is the best part about streaming, by the way, is when you don't stream the video game. Cough. Oh, try this as in what is currently going on? Or... Because I don't think this is gonna work. It deleted your message. Alright. Well, you could write it in... Yeah, inside chat box. I get that much. This is where it's... This is where it's at. I will try again. Display flex. Yeah, alright. Let's try flex. Yes. And then we should probably have a column reverse. Min with fit content. Okay, I don't think that's going to do what I want it to. But we might as well try it. And min height, not min width. Alright. Oh, just add it, probably. Min height, fit content. I have a feeling, let me read the description of this. Allowed the author to constrain the content height to a certain range. Alright, that makes sense, because then, you know, things cannot go out of frame. But that's kind of an issue, because we want the oldest messages to go out of frame, right? But we'll go nuts and do a refresh. So I don't think this is actually going to fix it. It might, and that would make me happy. That is why you need overflow hidden. Alright. Whoops. Which is what we had. And I suppose it should be in this one. Because this is a chat box. Yes. Oh, goodness. Alright. Alright. Flex direction column. Yes, because we changed it to flex and then we removed the other boy. Yes. Flex direction, column reverse. Bep, bep, bep. Web bep. Ah, this is gonna be great mod content. Oh no. Alright, this does not function. You need another box. Yeah. Yeah, that could be a fix for it. Chatbox should be position relative. Position relative. Alright. Why? Relative. The position CSS property sets how an element is positioned in a document. The top right and left properties determine the final location of positioned element. And what was it before? It was fixed. The position CSS sets how an element is positioned in a document. Okay. Position top right determine. That reads like the same. And what have you written? Chat box should be positioned, but then you need a box inside which will overflow, but the overflow will be hidden. Alright. So a box for scales to, so you need outer box. Not column reverse. Alright. Yeah, I did notice how that did not work. And let me move this so it's easier to read. X. Okay. Also flow direction of column. Yeah. And a separate box. Goodness. I have even forgotten how and where this is where. Okay. Style, class, chat box with chat. Right, and the chat is where that thing comes in, right? And the chat box, which is the outer box, then it would probably be better if I took this, did a this, and now I also have to try and read what you're doing. I'm getting a call, alright. This guy is like, time to ruin your CSS, and also goodbye, fuck you. What a Chad. I hate him. Okay, so I added a new one. The chat box, and now we'll call this bounding box. And we'll take this and delete it, because we don't want that. And we want... Oh goodness. Okay. And I need to constantly reset to make sure that this looks kind of how I want it. And we, of course, need to change the style here. Class chat box. That would be the bounding box. It should be this one. The bounding box needs to be block, you say. Alright. And we'll serve it and reset it. Okay. So that did not exactly work how I expected it to. Now remove the min. The min? Right, that's in the bounding box. Beepity bop. It should be removed from both, I believe. No, this one is fine, as is. And we have the flex direction as a column. We have the overflow to be hidden, where the overflow on this one is fine. I believe. And the bounding box should be a block. Position should probably be fixed. It needs some padding, which is, I believe, what this is supposed to be. Let's serve this. It could be flexbot we see. Okay. Bop, bop, bop. Bop-a-da, bop-a-dee, bop. No, this isn't what. This isn't what I want. This isn't what I want. Yeah, so... Oh, and currently, of course, it doesn't know the existence of the chat box. So inside of this, we will need another div, I believe. Div, which is then class chat box, and this one is supposed to have the ID. Yeah, exactly. It's this is the inner one is supposed to be the one that has the... Yeah, so we'll just make a bounding box around it. That's essentially what this is. So the outer div part, we'll just move this up to have it be slightly more readable. Hopefully. And we'll hit it with a serve and a reset. Okay, now we have the box. So the bounding box works. And if something is written... Ugh, oh, my stomach. Progress. Progress indeed. And you know what they say about progress. If you remove the R's, it's progress. Now we just need the direction. Yeah, that should be the bounding box, of course. should not be using this. And this, I'm gonna say it. I think it's column reverse. I know I made this mistake multiple times already, but I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna make the exact same mistake that I just made. And now when you write anything, it's just gonna be fixed. Fuck. The problem is the bounding box. What, the bounding box? No, the bounding box doesn't... Sorry. The bounding box doesn't put... It doesn't put anything inside of it except for the chat box. No? So it shouldn't have... The... It shouldn't matter what the... like, the direction is completely irrespective. You could try justify content top. Okay. In the bounding box. Again, the chat doesn't go through the bounding box as far as I know. It goes through the chat box, which is then inside the bounding box. But we'll take a justify content look at it. Justify content. Top. Okay, hold on. Let me read this. Aligns flex items along the main axis of the current line of the flex container. And you are arguing because it's inside the because the chat box is a flex item inside this block item. That should put it at the top, but because we have column, it's going to put it on the opposite. So bottom. I'm gonna put you on the bottom. And let's try this again. Interesting. Widely available across major browsers. Baseline since 2015. Wonder if this well, wait. No. I see what it's doing. Is this somewhat working? It you know what? I think we'll keep it as this because one, it's a funny accident, and two, this is closer to the kind of display aesthetic that I'm trying to make. Because sorry, I'm an idiot. In a display, you write from the bottom and push up. But yeah, the rest of it is pretty good. If we do column and then keep the rest, then it doesn't change anything. We already know this because column and column reverse apparently does nothing in the flex. It's the column reverse that fixes it. Wait a second. Can we do column inside the bounding box? Wait, that's not how. So we can do flex direction, column reverse, and then BBD boop, and then sweepity swoop, and then whenever I tab, you can like see all of the stuff. Let's see who wrote me. It's some random Discord that I'm part of. Okay, that does not do. Margin top auto. Okay, why though? Why is the great question that I have. Margin top. Margin top. Auto. Now, what does this do? Shorthand property to set values for the thickness of the margin area if left omitted. It is the same as right if bottom is omitted. It is the same top. It is if right is omitted. it is the same as top. Negative values for margin properties are allowed, but there may be implementation-specific limits. ... That thickness of the margin area. Yeah, I don't know what this is gonna do. Yeah, exactly, because I already have these defined. I know these are manual and therefore kind of gross. But I have no idea what this is supposed to do, but let's try it. I guess, you know, trying means trying beats dying, right? That's the saying. Okay. So this, it didn't fuck stuff up like I actually suspected. But it also didn't fix anything. Yeah, so it's red currently top to bottom. No? Yes. Test the chat, maybe the overflow works. No, wait, didn't the overflow work just like a moment ago? I'm pretty wait, am I crazy? Didn't it work before? Was it before I added another column reverse? Everything is column reverse or column. It feels like it doesn't matter, but it's at least justified to top. Overflow Y auto instead of hidden. Okay. Why? Oh, right. Overflow dash Y is the definition, and then you write auto. Auto specifies the handling of overflow in the vertical direction. Okay. Specify the handle. Okay. Well. We'll try and do that. But it feels like I'm adding to stuff that if you want to go back to the thing that worked, the chat box needs to be column reverse. Yeah, but the chat box, nothing works in the chat box. See what happens. And then this no work. No, okay, so this had to be, you said this was column reverse. There was something that worked like a moment. So just do column reverse. Yeah. Now it should work. Except for the part where it doesn't anymore. Flex direction justified. Damn, front-end development, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, so this sort of fixes it in the best way possible, because it doesn't push the thing. Okay, now this is column reverse in the bounding box. This is column reverse in the chat box. If I make this column, will it then... Wait, justify content. Bottom. Isn't this what I'm looking for? Wait, hold on. Should we not just play? I mean, maybe. I forgot that, you know, there's a game in the background. Oh, that didn't work. Well. Well, you know, we're sort of back to where we started, which is the best kind of start. Wait, there's a small white box at the bottom right. Wait, how did that get there? Is that because the... And when did it get there? Oh, that's so... Wait, is it this? I really hope I didn't do something stupid. Well, If I did something stupid, it's funny. Okay. It's gone now, so... You don't care? Oh, goodness. I mean, goodness gracious. Oh, now you can't see who's in the party. No, let me move this. Hell yeah. What do you mean you don't care? What do you mean you don't care? This is the best part of the stream, where the part where nothing works and we don't play Final Fantasy, even though it's just playing Final Fantasy. Waiting for the last person. All right. Well, we can wait. We can wait. Okay. So. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. It's been good. It's been nice. It's been a little stressful, and I played War Machine for the first time in a long while. And the thing about War Machine as a game is, it had a really cool aesthetic, because it was like, well, it's very much kind of the same aesthetic. I just feel like the feeling of the aesthetic has kind of shifted a little bit for me. But the game itself is, it made me realize that with a very small force, it is a tabletop game, a war game. A very small force, which is the standard for War Machine, means that it's very volatile. Like, it can go either way really quickly. And it has its ups and downs, because it means the actions you take mean a lot, but it also means it takes very little for everything to become kind of wonk. Oh, this is where we're at. Kind of wonk, and you know, only the party leader may register for duty. What the heck? Can't believe I'm not the leader of this party. Well, you know, Adam, you can also just write us up for the cast from Albania. But it's nevertheless a very fun game. The army I'm playing, Kador, feels unique, even though it doesn't do much, and it's just kind of stats, because the way it plays is reactive, and usually we need to fix the party comp. Well, all right. And though, sorry, it feels like the margin is off. I'll have to remove the auto, I think. Yeah. So it's like reactive, and for most of all, essentially, of the tabletop and war games and tabletop role-playing games I've ever played, having the initiative is the most important part of everything, essentially. But because most games are designed in such a way that all right, one of the players is not ready, that's fine. Most games are designed in such a way where, goodness, that was loud, that offense beats defense, right? And Kador is very defensive. Comments. And the reason you want to design a game in this way is because you want players to act and not do nothing, right? This makes sense. So, and in order to act, people need to push whatever advantage they have. But Kador specifically is essentially a bunch of stat sticks with a bunch of threatening stuff, and they're not very fast. So you essentially need to organize all of your little units in, let me turn on tank stance. So you need to organize your dudes in such a way that that your opponent has to find a way to break through. Oh, I was targeted. That's scared. Yeah, I'm doing the thing that tanks are never supposed to do. I'm doing a 1-2-3 instead of the AoEs. But it's an interesting like tactical challenge to try and how do you say it? It's it's an interesting tactical challenge to try and organize your dudes in such a way that you create layers of defensive lines, and then that is your tactical engagement point. The part where you have to think is, how do I understand what my opponent is able to do, more than try to focus on what I am able to do. It's a little, that is like a little difficult when, sorry, let me just press the heal myself button. He turned around. What a mess! Oh, he reminds me of the gorillas from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. God, I hate those gorillas actually. And the so like it's all about how to properly understand your opponent. And when you're, I wouldn't say I'm new to the game, but I'm like, I've restarted, or I've like started the game again recently after having a hiatus of 1.5 editions, and in War Machine terms, 1.5 editions is like 10 years. So understanding what my opponent is able to do becomes really difficult. Should have been done after new messages added. I have no idea what that is supposed to mean, because I have a very limited amount of brain. Dog, where I both have to do some raiding, press my buttons, and read some chat. Let's see, what have you been? A roll top roll, we will fix scrolling issues, should be done after new messages. Okay. I can't quite focus on what those words mean in this current context, unfortunately. But I do appreciate the help. Yeah. Okay, now I need to absolutely log in, because this enemy very likely has mechanics, and I have to identify those mechanics immediately, which is a little dangerous. Wonder if his mechanic is I just hit really hard, because damn, he hit really hard. Okay, Magitech Flare, so my boyos have to avoid the ban. Now I'm not taking as much damage anymore. Was it because I burst him that I took a lot of damage? No, now I'm taking damage. Wild speed? Okay, we have a bunch... Wait, they're on cannons? Get the fuck off of those cannons. And now I stood in bad. Okay. Okay, just dodging around a little bit. Oh, he's so fast. And now he's dodging. Vroom, 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 vroom. I do not know my mouse acceleration. Oh, now we can use the cannons. Never mind. I guess we cannot use the cannons. Alright. This seems quite doable. Because, you know, having a healer makes life so much easier. We'll just hit it with a big old 2 and then a 3. Because that's just how you play these kinds of games. And if I'm a little lucky, I can get up to... I could not get up. I could not get it up, as I said. Oh, loot. Tight boots. And it doesn't save these settings between. And a paladin's ring. I think I'll press pass and pass. And now something is happening. Deployment. Okay, I guess we'll just have to eat these things up. And they probably just spawn some bad boys. Bad boys. Is that a hyper hunk? No, he's hyper tuned. Damn. He looks like well, he looks like a lot of things. Let's call him Arnie. He looks like an Arnie. Oh, I already... Yeah, these don't disappear after you press pass on them. Because what if someone else has not pressed pass on them yet? Then you have to see, you have to look at them. Thank you, video game. Thank you, Yoshi P. I'm so glad that you decided what I wanted for me. You know, players don't know what they want. This is why Diablo Immortal made a lot of money. Yeah. Because the developers knew. Whereas the gamers are fools. Oh my god, they're so cool. They're like, they could be in Doom, these demons. Oh yeah, they... Oh my goodness. Okay, I can only dislike this inner release change. It removed any kind of complexity Warrior had. Allegedly, some changes are coming in January. So, you know, by then, maybe I'll have finished Stormblood. If I make some good time, you know? Very exciting stuff. Whoa. I promise I'm not gonna throw up. Oh, sorry, I was distracted by the Roadrunner. Oh, I get it. So we're supposed to focus because we cannot realistically kill all 4 of the parts unless we're really good, of course. Which, I mean, I'm not. And I am the primary damage dealer being the tank and all. I'll just press this heal myself up. And also the healer is going to press the heal thyself button, which is pretty good. This is what healers are for. And DPS, I guess they're here for Peloton. If your DPS class can't do Peloton, then your DPS class is probably not that worthwhile. Yeah, let's see, what can this guy do? Oh, he has those... Oh, they're not quite the... Oh, I forget what they're called. There are some elemental spooky stuff. Oh, it's an AoE. That means it doesn't matter for me. There are these Indian kind of Qatar-looking things. Oh, this is a tower. That means I probably have to stand the tower, right? Whoa! Look at this. I probably missed by 1, 2, 3 out. I was focused on something else. Lightning Aether output. Yeah, so Qatar is... Oh, I'm already in it. The Qatar is like... it's like knuckle dusters, but really sharp. And there's like an Indian form of it, where it's like literally just a big gauntlet that has a sword on it. Something that's like maybe cool in concept, but probably doesn't work that well. I mean, it existed for a while, so it's likely at least somewhat useful. So that's a gather. The whoop whoop, that means gather. Yeah, so this area has a lot of like vague Indian inspiration, it seems, where the previous area had a lot of vague Nordic and French inspiration. So it probably... Yeah, sorry, I was like, But wonder what, if it's supposed to have two kind of inspirational sources, wonder what the other one is. Me looking at literally China, Mongolia, Japan. Could be anything. Yeah. Sorry, sometimes thinking is really difficult. Oh, I can press this button. It probably doesn't do anything, but I can shake it. So, oh, this is probably a spread out. Which, team, you're doing great in getting away from me. And there was no follow-up effect, so I can just keep waiting. Great. Should be, yeah, no new chat messages have arrived, which is great. This is how I prefer it. Imagine if someone was actually trying to talk to me while doing this, like listening and talking at the same time. What is this hat? Oh my god, look at that hat! It looks so dumb. I don't want it. And those are earrings. I kind of wanted the hat, but I don't even... I feel like it would be too much mental load or mental space for the glam. So it's like a maybe I want this glam kind of situation, and I don't think I have room in my mind or my heart for this. And that's okay. Sometimes you just have to pick your battles. And my battles are getting up in the morning and taking a shower. That's a fucking battle and a half. Even though the job is fine, it's like sometimes job, and then you don't want to. And I think most people do this way, and that's okay. Well, it's not okay. It would be better if everyone on Earth had something they enjoyed doing and something they wanted to get to work for every day, and the work in and of itself would be exciting enough to be the entire motivation in and of itself. That is unfortunately just not quite how the world works, and we should work on making it more so. Wouldn't that be this? And my ideal work is where other people do what I say all of the time. I feel like that would be ideal, because then my needs are met and everyone else's needs are not met. And seeing as the world exists in a zero-sum game kind of situation, I feel like that would just be the optimal experience, because it matters more to me. And now I can't keep that act up anymore. That would be, of course, quite awful. It would be better if, you know, I feel really bad whenever, you know, in like fighting games, if I'm winning a lot, I usually tend to get more sad than when I'm getting beat up a lot. Because when you mapping the realm, because when you get beat up, then you can focus inward. You can be like, okay, what can I improve? How can I change this? And also, my opponent is having a good time because he's getting to do what he wants, and that's pretty cool. And then when I'm winning a lot, I'm like, I'm getting to do what I want. Yeah, sure, but like my opponent might be like having a bad time, and that would be really sad. Hold on, I'm just gonna pass on all of these while we are waiting, because I am afraid of getting abandoned. Of course, I will never get abandoned because Adam is here. So he'll just wait for me to exit the dungeon. Okay, so now I probably have to log in a little bit again, because it is the last boss and it will have mechanics like absolutely fucking killing me. Holy shit. Let me just heal myself. Alright. Warrior privileges. But that did hurt a lot. Get the heck back here. Hecky magic. Ketu and Rahu. Alright. Time for your medicine. Okay. Wait, hold on. They have this wacky... Oh, so I have to stay inside the circle. At least that's where all of my pals are. Okay, now I'm bleeding. Itsune, help me! Itsune! This is absolutely unacceptable. This is absolutely acceptable. Okay. Oh, so I should probably split out a little bit. Yeah. Easy. Okay, it seems like these aren't really complicated mechanics. They're just like move a bunch mechanics and keep your wits about your mechanics, which is fine. Mechanics for, you know, the lesser gamers. The gamers who aren't as smart and as cool and beautiful as I am. Ow, that hurt a lot. But luckily, when I lose health, that's a healer issue. Spoken like a true gamer. Okay, well done, party. And the white little box is back. I see the white little box on the chat. Okay. So... Alright, great success. Great success indeed. So the white little box... I think we'll just live with the existence of the white little box until the end of the stream. And I think you can live with that, because you don't really have much of a choice. What is... it's ugly. Okay. Thank you, everyone. It was nice for you to have, and to me and the join. A cutscene. Beautiful. Yeah, I was wondering, like, since when...
Understood. We're on our way.
Alright. Alright, sure. This is a voiced cutscene. Just turn it up.
Reese's unit should be advancing upon the fire control center in the command tower. Let us join them.
Oh, they actually just, you know, completed the charge and made it through the defensive structure. I know I mentioned this. But... why have a defensive structure if it can be charged by a bunch of rebels? I don't get it. Also, the biological experiments, very cool. There was a hint of it at the...
Lise, thank the 12 you're all right.
Why did we sneak in?
There's the control center. Let's hit them hard and fast. Ready?
Why did we split up? I don't understand. Oh, it's that woman.
They're here! It was you, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I gave the order to fire. It was over! The Skulls had surrendered, no one else had to die, and you killed them! Your own people! Your own comrades!
You're right. I killed them. Ansfrid, Rudolf, Emlyn, all the rest. Trained and fought with every last one of them. Good soldiers to a man. I gave the order that led to their deaths. And I knew exactly what I was doing.
But why? Why would you do that?
They died so that all Alamegans could live free. That was all we ever wanted. We made a promise that we would do whatever it took, so that one day the Imperials would learn to accept us. But everything comes at a price. And if you haven't got the means to pay, then you pay with blood. Service guarantees citizenship, but citizenship guarantees naught. It's not enough to do your part, oh no. You have to run faster, fight harder, kill more and more and more, and only then will you be equal. That's just how it is out here in the provinces. You buy your freedom with blood. There is no other way.
Shut up! Shut your mouth! You don't get to talk about freedom! You killed your own! They trusted you, and you killed them! Murderer! Butcher! Traitor!
Oh shit, Sharingan. Oh shit, she has the Sandevistan. Oh,
Please.
monk animations.
Gotcha!
God, looks very silly, and I kind of love it.
I know what you can do. I've already seen it.
God, I hope she's dead.
Alize!
But God. Yeah. Let's keep the suspense. But I have a very strong feeling that she's going to survive.
The odds are against me.
Which is sad. No, smoke bomb! That's a ninja technique.
Coward! Get back here!
Hero! Lord Xenos invites you to join him for the royal hunt, to be hosted at the palace. You may bring your horde, if you like. All are welcome.
Whoa.
She'll be all right, but we'll need to carry her. Will you help me?
Why do I not get a choice in
Thank
this
you.
matter?
Lise, I leave matters here in your hands.
Right.
Again, with the size of this cannon, we could just shoot at the Imperials. I mean, I'm just saying. And I was thinking, like, so the Galleons have access to all of this crazy machinery, right? So they should just make drones, was my original thought. And the thing is, if they also nice link. And if they made a bunch of drones, you know what they could use? Those drones, they could make like those the drones from Drone Warfare that we see today, but they don't. And I wondered, why do they not make drones? And then I realized, for a very simple reason, every adventurer has 2 AoE buttons, so we'll just AoE all of the drones. So highly ineffective. We did it. Castrum Albania belongs to us now. Nago and her people took Alice to the Radiator and receive treatment. Alphino tells me she'll make a full recovery. Boring. I know I should be happy, we won with minimal casualties, but somehow it feels empty. Also, why did we spread up? I don't quite get that. It seems just bad. If we ended up in the same place anyway. We should report to General Alden. Kyle isn't here, but who knows, maybe one of Rauban's men found which could lead us to her. Can't hurt to ask anyway. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about looking for pants. Okay, so these certainly are pants. I'll just take these. They have better stats, and you can't see them, so I'll just swoop de whoop. Wait, no, hold on, no. Better pantsiness, yeah. Oh god, I wanna run back to reapply my glams because, yeah, well, we're taking a detour. That's just how it is. And You will have to listen to the rock horse for a bit, and I'll turn down the music to, I think this level should be fine. Oh my. Wait, Tekopvine, you just missed the whole drone discussions. And I won't repeat it, because I probably have something else to talk about. And if I keep retreading the same territory, well, you know, then I'll just be a streamer. Like, we can't have that. And I have so much else to talk about, and yeah, you know. So, wait, is this? Oh, it is a settlement. I just haven't been here before. Can I apply claims here? Cannot apply claims here. Okay. Where was I going? It was there I was going. Oh, I just haven't taken this route before. Neat. There's probably a quest that goes here. A quest that I will not be taking. Unless it's, of course, one of those forced quests. Then I'll be taking it. Because I'm forced to. Yeah. The fourth. So there's a meme, right? And now I'm just gonna explain the meme, because if I have nothing else to talk about, might as well. Oh, you're watching a video about drones. That is crazy. And you know what's also crazy? Rats. Rats are kind of crazy. Oh, I watched a podcast, right, about like the worst years in humanity's history. And one of the years was, oh, let's see if I can remember. One of the years was it was 1920 or 1930 something. It was just when it was in the interwar period, and the reason it was a terrible year was because the stock market crashed and the Spanish flu happened, and it set the seed for World War II. Good argument for it being pretty bad. So this is year number one. Year number two argument for being pretty bad was in the I want to say early 1300. One of the worst must have been 2016 because of the MLG era. The MLG era was like 2012, bro. 2016 was like the year Harambe died. And the year of Trump's election and all that stuff. Those were like a capital B beans. That was those memes back then. Remember? And also it's 10 years ago. Whereas the MLG memes, those were like, wait, hold on, am I? No, because like 2014, 2015, no, 2014 was the end of the MLG memes being funny. So it's gotta have been funny at least 1 year prior to that. It's a little difficult because memes move much faster now, even though like, no, because 6-7 is now also not funny anymore, because politicians have made 6-7 memes. And you know, when the politicians get in on the action, that's when it dies. Just like the Thanks Obama meme. When Obama did the skit where he like dipped his cookie in the milk and it broke off, and he said, "Thanks Obama." Yeah, that was peak, and then it died. According to a cooked meme about memes, the MLG era is set to be 2013 to 2017. I require a source, otherwise I'm just going to ignore it. That's a me thing. What? Hold on. I knew I was talking about something before this that was super important. And by super I mean the opposite. Which is not duper. Lieutenant Commander Hext, fine work you did today. After Specula Imperatoris, we needed a resounding victory like this, thanks to you, Rolgo's star, yet burns bright. I'm glad, I really am. But you should know that Alice was injured in the fighting. Oh, sorry, that was Lise. Blah, 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 blah. It's okay, it has been posted in the memes chat. Impossible. Regrettable. But I am pleased to hear that she will make a full recovery. For Dola's parting works less favorable. But if Xenos wishes to invite the royal hunt when this bull fain accept. What troubles you, Lise? Oh, nothing really, just that we're almost to the end and we've still got to save Kyle and do so much more. Which, by the way, first post in the meme chat is meme about memes. Truly a boomer moment. Is it? Is that a boomer moment? I feel like it's just a meta moment. A boomer moment would be like a really deep-fried AI memes from Facebook about millennials. Back in my day. Okay, I kind of get what you're saying. Because in this day and age, things from like pre-2020 is back in my day. Memes were uphill both ways. Oh, you know a meme that was uphill both ways? The Rufflecopter. God, that goes hard. Or I can has cheeseburger. See, that was the pre-MLG era memes. Was the like Velociraptor and the awkward penguin. And who was it? What was his face? Douchebag Carl. Yeah, you know, the guy with the hat. No, bro, I just turned to ash. Yeah. And see, Rufflecopter is still funny because it has like... It's like still slightly before our time. Because memes weren't completely formalized at that moment. It's also like the first viral video on YouTube, which is like the chicken dance. It's like memes weren't properly formalized and an internet thing back then, which is weird. Like you'd think that memes would be less centralized now, but 6-7 is like it's all over the place. So it feels like if you're within at least the Western world, everyone knows that meme, and that's so strange. Whereas in the Western world, because all of the kids weren't on the internet, like Rufflecopter wasn't that spread around, or like Rufflemau. That's probably due to platform centralization. Very likely correct, because of TikTok. It's a Chinese psyop to make every adult human being in the Western world really angry. Because my nephew, he's like 6 or 7, and he really loves that meme. He loves it so much, and it's so funny because his mother, aka my sister, and his father, they just cannot have it. They would like to ask for less of it. Could we have an encore but reverse? It absolutely destroys them, which makes my life way more funny, because I don't have to live with it. I just have to experience it every once in a while, and I can look at this pain and be like, wow, I'm glad that my sister is the one who has to experience this, and not me. We'll find her soon enough. Pippin has his best men scouring the Castrum's archives as we speak. Ellipses. Listen, Lise. It will take time for us to fully occupy the Castrum and prepare to advance into the Lochs. While we wait, there is something I would like to show you. Both of you. After all, this may be the last chance we have to catch our breath before the final push. Oh, just like pregnancy. I don't see why not. then come with me to the radiator. And from there, we'll need to follow another road south. I don't care about you. But this guy is like going to be mentioned in the beginning of the next, and he's like, oh, did you remember me? You saved me from the thingy-majig, and then I did a salute while you walked away. And I'm gonna be like, who the hell are you? Oh, see, it's the place that I literally just commented on. See, this is a place where I'm never going to go again unless I'm going there on a forced quest. And guess what this is? A forced quest. So that's where we're going. Okay, so I mentioned that before stream I ate way too much, right? My experience with food is whack, and I think at least one person in chat can probably apply his own experience to this, though mine may be. I mean, every situation for every human being, for everything is slightly different, which is why it's so boring to be humans. Everything should just be centralized on TikTok instead, so we all have the same exact thoughts, and we can become the sheep that we were meant to be. Do human sheeps dream of meat animals? What is it? Do electric sheep? No, do robots dream of electric sheep? That's how it goes. So do sheep dream of electric? Wait, no, humans are standardized and must be fit into a mold. Yeah, 2 arms and 2 legs, and if they don't fit that, then they're built wrong. And this is actually just the truth. But there's nothing wrong with being built wrong, except, you know, that it's wrong. But, you know, there's nothing morally wrong is the wrong word to use. There's nothing like the value is not less, is what I was trying to say. There may be less human or maybe more human, but that doesn't change the value of the human. Unless it's one of you, you guys are worth less. Not worthless, but worth less than a regular human. Even after all these years, it's still the same. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You deserve a proper welcome. Okay, but who is this though? Okay, which of these are the vitality, mind, intelligence? These are probably the ones that I want. The ones that I want. Rather be pointless. That stuff is cool. Yeah, like a circle or a sphere. Those are pretty cool. Dudes, are those called twink boots? Dude, are those called twink boots? Wait. Did I just skip by twink boots? Damn. I should have picked those. Rauban would like to share a story. Lieutenant Lees, I brought you both here for a reason. Okay. Time to watch a cutscene. Wonder if this is voiced. Oh, I have water here. Okay, so...
I wanted to show you this house. My house.
Oh, it says Rauban is gay.
You mean this is where you grew up?
Aye. Not much to look at, is it? Same could be said of the village. It was damn near impossible to live off the land, barren as it was. Which is why so many of us traded our plowshares for swords.
Interesting. Demord 3017. Welcome, I guess. Image is Hades, and Crystal Exarch is Grahatia, and you are back. Alright. Wait, spoiler stuff. I mean, okay. I guess I'll try not to think about whatever he said. Same could be said of the village. Yeah, that's what he said. It was damn near impossible to live off the land, barren, blah, blah, while so many. I do like this area. It's very cool. It does feel kind of abandoning. Neat.
Swords and uniforms, mind. We became military men. Tensions were rising between Alamigo and the Empire, and there was always a need for more soldiers to watch the border. It was only a matter of time before the first skirmishes broke out. It's a frightening thing to face Magitech armor for the first time. But after a lot of trial and error, I found ways to bring them down. After a few victories, people even said I had a knack for it. And then one day they hit us. Hard. I was wounded and sent home to recover. Back here.
Alright, I'm not reading your messages. Because I prefer not being spoiled. I do enjoy not being spoiled about, like, the stuff that happens. I only read your first line. It's something that happens to Senas. And also I prefer not having that sort of language in my chat. So I'll just go ahead and try to figure out exactly how this works. How does... No user, view, channel, messages, details, user ID. How doth one? I mean, I could start with muting. Either you do it or you give... Ah, I see. Okay, let me just tab out. You know, it's a good excuse to actually learn how to exercise these powers. Let's see. And I have to go into the dashboard. I mean, you can start by timing him out, I suppose. That also removes all of his messages. Moderation. No, that's not the place. Babbity-babbity-bab. See, stream manager. Is this the place? Oh, hell yeah. So you did time him out. Alright. Did you just time him out for a few hours, then we can figure it out afterwards? How does that sound? Unless... I mean, did it work? No, it seems like it didn't. Funny, it doesn't show... Oh, it's because he's on the YouTube chat. Ah, well that makes way better sense. Alright. Let's see. Does it... I can place him in timeout for 24 hours. Okay, that's a good start. And then I suppose I can figure out what to do afterwards. Yeah, I suppose that works. That's fine. Well, first minor crisis has been avoided. Yeah. Oh, was banned? Nice. Well, you know, experiences. It makes all of us a little better sometimes. And at some point, whoever this person is, will also become wiser, likely. Then one day they hit us hard, I was wounded, sent home to recover, back here. Yeah, exactly. Labeled as a minor. Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's why Demored, like, wrote the things he wrote. they wrote. That's why, like, some form of attention seeking, trying to like hop in, create some panic, create some something that seeks attention. That's fair enough. Like, I get that people want attention, especially like if you can't achieve that in your regular life, or maybe the person can. That's also all right. These people can can find you on YouTube. That is true. That is true. You know, whatever the algorithm decides to feed people. I mean, truly, to me, it doesn't. Free exposure. Whoa! I'll put it up on the. I'll put it up on a like a highlight. You know, which I still won't be making. Highlight. Some kid invades my YouTube chat. Crazy things follow. And, you know, we can use that to farm engagement. Which, again, sort of interesting. Hey, YouTube. Whoa. Yeah, time to write, time for all of you to write, like, wave emoji. Which doesn't show up because of my shitty interface. Hey, YouTube. Wow. Look at me, I'm on YouTube, Dad. Yeah. I mean, I imagine Demon Red has already left. Hand pink waving. Oh, now I get to like... Wait, hold on. Let's put this on. Whoop. And then... Okay. Now we can see how this works together. Settings. YouTube. Because there is a way... I'm sure of it, where, not in here, where I can see like who are in the chat. This command, users. No, that is like how to add. Yeah, so Demon Red has left. You know, it is what it is. Oh, he's Interesting. Strange. Sorry, I was just a little distracted because I saw another image on this, or another message on this. So I thought like, but it's the same Demo Red, but it just missed a message. It is what it is. And that guy wasn't just an alt to try and get more power. Yeah. Genius move by Adam. Moving in and like, see, this is why mods are necessary. Akira.
Will you remain silent for fear of the Mad King's vengeance? Of his eyes and ears in the shadows and his knives in the dark? You, who call this living dishonor our nation. It is but a slow death. Liberty or death? Liberty or death? If this be your creed, then raise up your hands, raise up your voices! Together we will tear Theodoric from the throne! Together we will reclaim our freedom!
Wow, look at this. Look at this crazy fantasy scripture we have. We call it English. I love Japanese. Albania or Detk. Yeah. Oh yeah, I still haven't figured out how to name streams on YouTube.
Send you home to men, did they?
Aye, sir. Garlean's got the better of us. The chirurgeons say I'm healing well, so it won't be long now.
Young Robban can't hurt you. Young Robban.
Liberty or death, is it? Tell me, soldier. What do you think those words mean?
Freedom or the end of life.
We must needs be willing to die for liberty.
Spoken like a true patriot. But liberty should not be the end in of itself.
Ah. Oh, now comes the American propaganda. I'm so ready.
Liberty is a chance to build something better. A stronger, more prosperous home for our people. It's not quick or easy work. And it is never truly finished. But if you neglect it, then sooner or later, you look up to find you've traded one tyrant for another.
That is interesting. That is the grounding philosophy you know. Sorry, my brain just completely farted because I read Zenobus' chat message that he now wants to be a mod. I mean, power to everyone, right? This is liberty or death, right? Everyone should just have the mod powers. If everyone is moderator, then no one is moderator. I say as though giving everyone a gun is not exceedingly dangerous. But, like, no nation would give everyone access to, like, firearms. That would be ridiculous. My dictatorship.
I've never asked for much. Never wanted to live like a king, just wish it were a little bit easier is all. For me and everyone else. And I'm willing to die for that, if that's what it takes.
Dying is easy, soldier. Living is harder. Rest, mend. Regain your strength. You'll need it in the days to come. And mayhap one day we will need it too.
If I could tell stories like this, where I'm like beaming the information directly into your brain. Oh, we kind of need.
Conrad chose you as his successor, Lise, and I will not gainsay his decision. I have but one question to ask.
Right, what is it,
Liberty
Sean Bean?
or death? Those were Curtis's words and his creed. Will you swear by your father's creed before your comrades and the gods?
Oh, that's Daddy-O. Okay. And then the other guy was the sloppy guy, right?
Liberty or death. That's all you can hope for in war. Father understood that. And you want to know if I do too. I swear to you, here and now, I will fight until the end. Be it liberty or be it death. But the freedom we win must be for every Alamegan, even ones like Fordola. Hear us. We'll fight, and we'll talk, and we'll find a way to make it work for all of us. Compared to all that, retaking our home will seem like the easy part.
How progressive.
A good oath. And there is naught else to say. You are indeed your father's daughter.
Because apropos America, right? Freedom for the people being the wealthy landowners, and wait, at least you're standing awfully close to, at least, is that, like, is this wall good? Yeah, anyway, only later did it become like, or maybe freedom for black people as well. Or rather, wait, Maybe freedom for women also. I forgot which one came first. I think it was women and then the black. But yeah, the US. Wall, maybe she's a reverse moth. Yeah, maybe she's like standing close to the fire, but only with the back turned. You know, it's like if you're at a campfire and you're looking at the campfire, it's super mesmerizing and all that. And then after staring at it for a while, then you realize your back has gotten really cold, and then you turn around to warm up your back. It's kind of like that. But then, you know, when you stand close to a fire or like just something really warm, it feels like all of your pores like open up. So when you go to somewhere where it's really cold, you get that scrunchy feeling. I think the scrunchy feeling is what she's feeling on her face right now because she's turned her back to it. Yeah. Even a blind man could see that Lise wasn't herself. Not that I don't understand, but thrust in a position of authority under such circumstances, to be made responsible for the lives of so many, it ain't easy. And when you see your friend get cut down before your eyes, it only gets harder. I'll wager she thought Alizé was dead for a moment back there. No, I thought, rather, let me correct myself, I hoped she was dead. I had a moment where I hoped and I wished. But I've been spoiled. I know that at least one thing will happen before I don't know what's going to happen to them any longer. So, it'll be. 'Tis one thing to risk your life for a cause, but to risk that of another is a burden no soldier is to shoulder soldier with truly ready. The fear, the guilt, it weighs on her, and that's good. It will make her a better commander. But first she needs to learn to carry it, to not let it break her, to remember that some causes are worth fighting for. Liberty or death. Her father's words gave me strength once. Mayhap they'll do the same for her now. Yeah, well, maybe if she looked at it. Right then. I think I've said enough. The two of you can head back. I mean to stay a bit longer. And then despawn. I mean, yeah, I getcha. One of the 3 villages in the entire area. Morgue. The gambler morgue. I understand. He's been away for a long time, and he probably wants to be alone for a while. Let's head back to the radiator. Me when it's cold. Oh, I have to turn down the volume a little bit. Okay. It's very cute. Very cozy right now. And I will say, I did notice what you wrote, Adam. And don't think I don't care about this story. I do care about this story. I just think it's bad. Hello, Lise. Wait, am I the only one who feels like I'm being watched? I don't know if it's Imperials or bandits, but I know there's more than one of them. Let's split up. You head northwest and I'll head northeast? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. What? See, this is the reason why I think this story is bad. It's because all of these dumb fucking moments. Oh no, there's an ambush. We should split up. Goodness. I know I haven't been in the military and I'm not really, like, militarily proficient and good at strategy and all that shit. But that's why we have to combine. Listen, man. If you were put in a situation where you knew you were being tracked or you suspected an ambush, would the smartest thing you would do then not, of course, be to split with your group? I mean, definitely, right? So you wouldn't all get picked off at once. You would instead get picked off one by one. God, it's so stupid. And also, another thing about people, right? Eyes here, right? Eyes not here. Eyes here means look this way, not look this way. If someone here, no see. No see at all. Yeah, they would go for the big group. Of course they would go for the big group. That's how what are they called? That's how predators work, right? If they see a group, a herd of animals that are their like hunt targets, that are prey. Like if they see a herd of prey, then of course they would go for the group and not the individuals. Well, taking up more ground can actually be a benefit as the enemy has to spread their fire over a larger area. See, that part makes sense, right? It does, that part makes sense. But that's if, that's still information, right? So if you're like, imagine 7 people or 6 people, then you would spread out in like a wing formation, or you would separate a little bit to make sure you can't get focused fired or like blasted. But in this case, like, I ran up here, and she ran up here. Completely and utterly separated. And this is no longer about spreading fire, right? Because we have melee weapons. She does the fisting thing, and even if I was a ranged fighter thing, and we would split up like that, then they would just go for me, and then she would have to come all the way over to me. I sort of get what you're trying to say, but in this scenario, no como esta. I don't think como esta biblioteca. I don't think, and therefore I don't have. Oh, suspicious youth. How very suspicious. Oh, she's seen us. Sodded. That's as good as alive to the Imperials. I think they're going to attack me. But you can never be too sure. I'll just... I think this is optimal, but I don't really know. Oh, I'll do another one. Yeah, sorry, let me explain. I think it's optimal to do AoEs, but it was unoptimal because I should have applied Surging Tempest before, because that's a damage buff. Oh my, I'm and also, like, yeah, with only 7 people, it's questionable. And in this case, we're only 2. And the thing is, right, you haven't been here for the entire storyline, so I'm going to spoil it for you. Get wrecked. But she is like literally the commander of the resistance forces. So splitting up makes extra very little sense. Because they could just, you know, kidnap her. Or just kill her, and then the resistance would be without a leader again. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Ugh. Time to crack my wrists. Okay, so something I've noticed, right, about water is that I think, just bear with me, I think I prefer being like slightly dehydrated, because when let me like drink some water here. Because there's like the perfect level of dehydration where your throat, I suppose, feels like slightly crisp, and there's a terrible level of overhydration, I feel, because when I'm properly hydrated, my lips feel like extra wet, because suddenly my mouth has enough spit to like produce all of the all of the necessary wetness. But when I feel that on my lips, it makes me like uncomfortable. It makes me feel like slightly slimy and all like slidey. Like my lips are like an ice level from a PlayStation 2 game, where I can't really, like, they're just sliding all over the place. but when they're dry, it's like interlocking lattices. So when I close my mouth, I know it'll remain shut because of all of the friction. So that was my two cents about drinking water and why it's dangerous. And you know, I'm not going to be fighting this thing. It's simply because, as you noticed, I had the Super Saiyan AoE thing around me, and I don't like the Super Saiyan AoE thing. So I just built up enough anger to 50, to the 50 level anger. Look at this dumb camel. Just don't end up at the hospital because of it. The hospital can't contain me. They attacked you too, didn't they? I had no choice. They're Alamegan, not even conscripts, by the look of them. Barely adults. In fact, some of the faces look familiar. Wait, I remember. They're from the Radiator. They must have seen us when we were looking for Stark. They probably thought the Imperials would reward them if they captured or killed. Oh gods, Alice and Alphino. They could be in danger too. We have to get back to the Radiator and find Nagor. Well, off we go then. Yeah, and in the same way with... well, it's not quite the same way with water. Okay, so when I have water next to me, I want to, like, avoid the overhydration issue that I just mentioned. But in general, if I don't have water next to me, I just forget that I'm dehydrated. Like, I don't know if any of you do the same, but like I can easily go a whole day or more without drinking just because like I forgot drinking, and then I don't really feel it because, you know, I have other things to focus on, such as the fact that the shirt I'm wearing feels weird or gross. And then you may ask, why is Sigurd wearing a shirt if he doesn't like how it feels on him? So you see, thank you for asking the question that you definitely asked and wondered. It's because when I just sit, I get too sweaty, and when I get too sweaty, it's like it begins running down the side of my body, the side of my torso, and so the droplets, like they pool and then they run down, and I feel like they're going to end up on the they're going to basically drip from my body and then end up on my chair, and I really don't want that. I don't want sweat on the chair from my armpits. I want it from my ass and only my ass, because I can't avoid that. I'd rather that than sit in sweaty clothes. I would much rather have loose clothes that then absorb the sweat, because I don't sweat so much that it gets drenched. I do in some countries, but not in the country that I'm currently in. It doesn't really get hot enough for that. I notice I'm dehydrated after pissing twice. Yeah, but you know, I mentioned how I'm going to have to act like everyone in here is strangers, and you know, in order for it to not become such an echo chamber of me and you, because I know all of you from real life, this mystical place that we rarely talk about on the internet. So, do you mean to say that was oversharing? No, I don't think it's oversharing that I'm sweaty. It's more that it's more that I was going to call out to. I was just sorry, that threw me off, because everything throws me off, because I'm not that good of. I don't have a lot of leg strength. So on those like balls, those where you are in like a ball pit or a like bouncy castle, and then you put a ball in the middle, I'm really weak, so I get thrown off easily, is what I'm trying to say. What I was going to overshare, sort of, it was simply that Tekopbine has the bladder the size of, like, I want to say walnut, because that's like the autocomplete inside of my mind, but I feel like there's a better description. You know, if you take like a sheet of tinfoil and then crumple it up, and then you have a small ball of tinfoil from that one sheet, that's the size of Tekopbine's bladder. better bladder. I have no idea how much is better, like how much that fills, because we don't swing like that. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is, if I could get, like, when women wear like dresses with no bra, they can get like those kind of sticker thingy magic they put over their nipples so they don't stick out, right? Imagine that, but like instead of that, it's like a piece of cloth and I can like just stick it into my armpits. Doesn't that sound great? Will you be featured at TwitchCon? Hell no. My Twitch is asking if I am ready to meet my favorite streamer. I don't even know when or where TwitchCon is. And I was thinking better like the dough on a fish. Huh? Oh, okay. I don't know what dough on a fish is. I know what the dough of bread is, and then I know the dough of semen. That's the kind of batter I know. There's also a battery, and a battery either holds power or it releases power, because the battery is like something you can put into your flashlight, like, and then it holds power. Or when it releases energy, it's called a battery because you beat someone up. Or sometimes it's called a battery because like it's a defensive emplacement that you place to like shoot at aircraft. That's also a battery. And I think also if it's artillery, then it can also be a battery, but I'm not as sure on that one. Plus a lot of streamers don't feel safe at those events anymore. There's a thin line. Wait, no, I missed so much. A building chatter law, that's thin line. Will you be featured at TwitchCon? My Twitch asking, I was thinking better like dough and fish. I don't understand any of this. This is like fourth dimensional communication. Who is PH? Plus there's a lot of streamers that don't feel safe. I think it's the case for a lot of... No, I think I get what you're saying. Like, in my case, I'm fairly tall, and I'm also a man, so therefore I have the privilege of feeling not necessarily safe, but oblivious in all circumstances I find myself in. Wait, how come that emote is allowed, but a / is too esoteric, or an exclamation mark? That's ridiculous. And the rest are vlogging the whole time or try to dox people. Yes, a battery can kind of mean a bunch of guns in an orderly fashion. I am talking about the cons. Yes, okay. So, for the con idea, I am too oblivious to ever feel in danger. There's like a short story about this. Once I was walking around in Geneva. I'd been there for like 6 days at this point. I was working in Geneva at this point. And I was just walking around the city because like, oh, it's kind of neat. And whatever, what have you. And I was wearing like my safety vest. And I noticed a party. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, a party, whatever. But on the other side of... Oh, that's also allowed. That is so interesting. Yeah. Strange. I'm gonna take a look at like how to... It's like something Kamchatka allows certain things. Either way, there was a church on the other side, and the church was like out towards the water, and it had a gangway that was around it. Get derailed. Yeah, I'm like a train that's entirely unsafe. I'm like a train in Denmark. Ha! That's funny because there was a train collision, and I don't actually know if people died, but if they did, I guess that part is not funny. But the reference, though. So there was a there was a church, and it had like a gangway, and I was like, ooh, I want to walk on this gangway and then like be in front of the church, and then like these three guys walked up, these three hood-looking ass guys walked up and stood like at the curb, like in the area where they were having this party. Hold on, we can look up here. Press home. And they were having this. They were having this party. Big music, probably doing drugs, but I didn't really notice anything. And so, yeah. Sorry, I got derailed by Bounce Daddy 69 trying to put an image source or check if image source was legal. Goodness, why are you like this? Why are you such a prick? Exactly. Yeah, so they like lined up at the curb. What do you think? I mean, it all started when he was 5 years old, and then, you know, continue from that moment, from that point. My goodness. Well, you are going to figure out that you can do something like this at some point. But better him than scammers and the like. Yeah, this guy, I mean, I can beat up this guy this coming Saturday. So, I'm not that worried. Yeah, so what was I talking about? They lined up in front of there was party, what have you. I walked up and they were like, salut, which means hello. And they were like being fairly confrontational. But I, being the autistic male human specimen that I am, felt neither danger, nor did I feel any urgency, nor did I sense any aggression. I was like, oh, salut, and just greeted them, and then I walked straight past them, and straight past the party, and onto the gangway. And I have a feeling that, you know, if this was like basically any other city than the one in, you know, the area of the world where I live currently, or Switzerland, I would have been stabbed. I was wearing a safety vest, and I'm pretty sure that I was also at this point wearing a bike helmet because I was biking around. So I looked like like the spitting image of Cartman from South Park. You know, back when he was like, when he wore the helmet and he wanted special attention, special needs. So that was like my experience of not knowing any danger, and that is why I think I would be safe at TwitchCon. Not only that, but also because literally no one knows me at TwitchCon, because none of you fuckers are going to TwitchCon either. So I could show up and, you know, there would be no streamers and nobody I knew. But I get why people with a large following get nervous around at something like TwitchCon, because like the engagement bait, the engagement farming have been strange, interesting. Derailed again. Yeah. So now that I've been derailed, but also I remember like people got their, like, they got a security detail fairly early on in TwitchCon or YouTubeCon Oh my god, I can't believe you just doxed my name like that. Another thing that needs fixing. Yeah, everything needs fixing. This is a completely unworkable stream. Maybe I should write some of these things down. Instead, I could just forget them. And I think I'll just do that. I hate you. But that is really funny. Too bad you spelled it wrong, you idiot. Re-owned, counter-owned. Yeah, so people get security details because otherwise people who are trying to engagement farm in some capacity, they are really like they're just going to essentially fuck up your experience. And was it I think it was the streamer Emiricho who had a really nasty experience at a con, like not too long ago, like 1 year ago maybe. So I especially get why large streamers feel less and less comfortable, and that is why nothing, I guess. I got nothing. It's not why anything. Like this is an unsolvable problem. Except by like vetting every single one that comes through. Make a psychological analysis on them. But that can also be gamed. As soon as you try to do that sort of stuff, it will just be gamed. What's all this then? You two look ready for a fight. We were ambushed by villagers outside of the radiator, and thought they might and attack you too. Are you all right? We're fine. The twins are at Stark's. Alice was asleep last I checked. I'm sorry, did you say we were ambushed by villagers, not soldiers? Did they not see that we did the castrum Albania? Goddamn fools. Oh, it's the Scottish woman. Lise Ivory. We overheard you talking. The ones that attacked you, they were young, less than 20 summers. I thought so. It's always the young'uns, the ones who have only ever known occupation. They're the ones you've got to look out for. See, the only decent work to be found at a radiator is the Imperials, and everyone knows it. Children grow up knowing it. They were pounded into their skulls. That the best they can hope for is to serve an Imperial officer. Bloody fools, after everything they've done to accomplish, they ought to be begging to fight for the Resistance, not against us. Should I be offended? Yes. You should be offended, but not because of anything I've done. Because of the fact that you are British. And so you should be offended on your own behalf of your parents. I mean, didn't you literally just say offended? And aren't the Scottish British? That's actually kind of messed up. Personal security doing their job and then they got punished for it. Oh, wait, hold on. Did something happen? Are you considered a large streamer yet? Because you sure do act like one. Hashtag main character syndrome. Listen, I've always just been more important than you. It's not something new. There was another one where the official staff didn't or couldn't do anything. Oh, that sucks. There was also a case of personal security being banned for stopping a person. Oh. Okay, so I get the idea of if you get personal security and they can get banned for overstepping their boundaries, that happens. That's actually also a fairly standardized thing in festivals in Denmark. So, yeah, you know, so if because your personal security is still under the rules and regulations of the festival security. And therefore, if they overstep their bounds, it happened once. You happened once. So if they overstep their bounds, then they will get banned. I kind of support that. However, of course, you should always inform the staff, and I don't know any details of the situation. Like the staff may have been informed, we have personal security. Also, the personal and their security is insufficient, and the streamer's personal security did something awful, or maybe they didn't do anything awful at all. Like, I can't really say that I have enough information to make a value judgment. I do think, though, that in general it sucks to go to a con as a quote-unquote talent, as large Twitch streamers are. They are the bread and butter. They are the reason why something like TwitchCon can work. But if they feel unsafe, then TwitchCon does not work. These things add up, that is true. Is this the Chapel Roan thing? Listen, I don't know who Chapel Roan thing is. Don't know. Yeah, exactly. There's a comedian called Chappelle. Is it him? Or whatever persons are we ganging up on because of security? No, well, welcome in. It's because TwitchCon feels unsafe for the larger streamers. And some larger streamers have tried to get some personal security. And that personal security has then been banned for doing their personal security stuff. And then we're essentially arguing back and forth that it depends on the situation if what they did was too much or too little. And it depends on how much security. And I don't even know if this was TwitchCon. It might have been something else. But essentially, sometimes personal security oversteps their bounds, or sometimes the rules, whatever. It's difficult to properly say who was in the right or wrong without more information. But I find that the main issue might be instead that they have to get their own separate security. I remember for Roskilde Festival once, it was Foo Fighters. Or rather, the Foo Fighters were planned to go to Roskilde Festival once, but they didn't. And the reason for it was because they wanted their personal security. And their personal security wanted a set of rights that the festival was unwilling to give them. But instead they were like, we are going to set up our own security, and we consider Foo Fighters to be a large risk band because it's very famous. And therefore, they essentially said, we are going to take care of security, we are going to spend a lot of money on it. Foo Fighters said, or their manager or whatever said, we do not trust your security enough. If we cannot bring our own personal security with the rights that they require to do security properly, then they didn't want to come. And for that reason, that year, Foo Fighters did not show up at Roskilde Festival. And, it's just an issue of values and communication. I have the wrong overlay up, so now you can see someone playing Deadlock, some nerd. Okay, I now have the right overlay up. You didn't notice anything? Yeah. Whew. Why would people play that? I know, right? Deadlock is an interesting game, I think, because it feels like it should be a shooter, but the guns feel so awful, and it feels like they don't do anything. Because when you compare it to something like Overwatch, or Counter-Strike for that matter, the guns are the main thing. Because when you shoot someone, they die. And this is not a skill issue thing, it is a bullet sponge thing. Because I have sort of been trained to, when I shoot people, they die. In Deadlock, it is when you shoot people, they just take some damage and then they retreat. And that's like most of the laning phase. It is not the main thing, unless you go bullet heroes. I would argue, even if you go bullet heroes, it still doesn't feel like a shooter. If you go haze, and you try to do a flank in the early level, and you shoot someone, it's still going to take like at least 10 seconds to kill someone. And that is not very shootery. You get what I'm feeling. Yeah, and it doesn't feel like a shooter, no. It feels way more like a MOBA, which is just going to be worse for you. So I just putting that warning up there. Skewer is having an opinion again. Yeah, that's me. Having opinions. I fundamentally think that I don't know if I would go as far as to say Deadlock is poorly designed, but it has many of the same design issues that I have seen in Dota over the years. When I started Dota, I thought Dota was perfectly designed. It was such an interesting game, but the gripe that I have with it is that there are too many unimportant things for competitive gaming. Which, some people like the amount of stuff to do, right? The amount of stuff to that you can do in Deadlock, like all of the movement mechanics and all of the shenaniganery, all of the unexplained items and all of the camps and when to go into the jungle and do stuff, when to gank, when to do sub-objectives, what all of the icons on the map does. There's no proper tutorial. Classic MOBA problem. But it's also in beta, so like, I have thoughts on this, and I would like to debate with you on this on voice, but on text, I will withhold my rant. That is why I'm here, so I can feel defended and I can spout my nonsense as far and wide as I absolutely want to. It's an alpha, bro. Alpha and beta mean the same thing. Early pre-alpha is beta. Debate me, coward. I will. As long as you write it on text and I am on voice. Alpha and beta is literally just the same thing, because no one can properly agree on what alpha and beta is supposed to mean, and therefore the meaning is meaningless. When something, to me, what I always understood alpha as was it's barely playable. It's like it's technically playable kind of thing, where Hive movement makes for bad shooter gameplay. Interesting take. I think I would tend to agree, because with a high amount of movement, it makes the shooting experience worse, but it can make the entire gaming experience better. It depends on what you're looking for. However, there's something like Tribes Ascend, if you've ever played that. Like the alpha is the internal pretest to see if the game is any good. Play Tribes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tribes Ascend. So Tribes Ascend is like, you have a gun and you're on skis. And the entire vibe, the entire idea of it, is to try and time your shooting with your intensely high movement. And that's where all of the interesting shooter aspect comes from. I will say, though, that I do not think Deadlock gives anything close to that experience. It gives something wholly different, where the movement part and the shooting part is separate. Also, I will have to reiterate, Deadlock is not really a shooter. It really... Okay, so it's definitely not any form of traditional shooter. Or, if you want to call it a traditional shooter, I would say that it is at least very, very bullet spongy. And I don't find the bullet sponging aspect to be that interesting in shooters. Which is why it's some of the other things that would appeal to me in the game. Like the casting of spells or planning your routes. But a lot of the movement tech in Deadlock feels like a lesser issue than, and now hear me out, Korean backdashing in Tekken. Korean backdashing in Tekken is an awful thing, I personally think, because it is something that gives you so much more momentum, so much more movement, so many more options than your opponent if you know how to Korean backdash, and they don't. And in the same fashion, I think that Deadlock has an issue with some of its universal mechanics that are too ingrained, that they become necessary. And especially without additional training. Again, I am judging a game that is not out. However, it is sort of treated like it is out, the same way with the Dota 2 open beta. I know it's not an open beta, it is a closed beta, but it is so polished in its current state that it doesn't feel like a beta. Coming back to like the whole beta and alpha argument, when a game is released on Steam, if I can play it on Steam, it is released. I do not care if you say it's early access. I do not care if you say this is a beta or this is a test or whatever. If it's playable on Steam, it is fully released. And I have no chill when it comes to this, because so many games have tried to hide behind being an early release. And therefore, I judge a game if it's available to me as though it was a game, unless it is some like very exclusive beta that's difficult to get into. But Deadlock is not difficult to get into. It is, well, no, because it spreads far and wide, and it spreads fairly quickly. Okay, now I'll read what you wrote, Adam. Alpha is the internal pretest to see if the game is any good. Beta is the game is basically done, but we want to polish it more before release. And then there are all the modern games that don't adhere to this. Completely. Well, I would say completely agree, but again, the definitions have become so washed over time that because of the last point that you made, there are all the modern games that don't adhere to this. Because they don't adhere to this, the definition is slowly changing, at least for games. So the definitions don't really matter in the same way. Yeah. To me, the old way of doing it I liked because it was clearer. I remember Trine, if any of you remember it. Trine 3 came out when Early Access was just launched on Steam. So I wanted to play it a little bit. But I got really confused because people gave it all of these negative reviews on Steam. Because the game wasn't finished. They were like, why is this just a placeholder texture? Or the physics don't work, as though they hadn't played the first game, where after the full release it still didn't work. They had all of these complaints about the game not being finished, and And now that I'm back then, I was confused because I was young and I was like, oh, I guess it's bad or I shouldn't play it. But then as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh yeah, of course it was in early access. The game wasn't ready. But if people are going to treat games that are in early access as full releases, then a game on Steam in early access should be treated as a full release. I still rarely play games that are in early access because I like to play a full story. If I had this with Hades, for example. I didn't play any Hades when it was in early access because I know they wanted to implement a proper ending. And they would be satisfied with that ending once it would exit early access, essentially. Signing up for a beta feels way different than just playing for an early access that is then available at all times. Yes. It also depends on how you sign up for a beta. Because Deadlock is so close to being finished. It is essentially a finished game. If it released right now, I wouldn't be that surprised. Because it still feels finished. All they're doing right now is releasing more characters and tweaking mechanics. They haven't done any major overhaul in all of the times, in all of the time that I've played. They've changed the map up a little bit, and they've changed a lot of the items and reworked some of the characters. But that is not like a major overhaul. You can do that with released games easily, and it happens with released games often. Yeah. It. But another thing you can use betas for is ensure stability. Yes, that is also something you can ramp up the amount of players that are allowed. Not every game can do this, because not every game can expect people to remain hyped. Any Valve game, almost any Valve game, can do this because it's a Valve game. I said any, but that's not true because Artifact existed at some point, but it does not anymore. It was an interesting game, Artifact. MMOs should do this. MMOs are weird. I think MMOs do this, but very few MMOs are being made because they're not usually that financially viable. At least when we consider MMORPGs in the form of Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2. But I believe those do that, though I'm not entirely sure. The expansions also topple their servers. Okay, well in that case, they're just pretty stupid. Oh wait, I can move this one up again. It's now up again. I'll move it in just a moment probably because it's not in the right place. So, yeah. No, the issue I have with Deadlock essentially comes down to there being too many small mechanics that are universal. And I don't think I enjoy that design, at least not in the headspace I'm in right now. I will still play it because, it's always nice to play with your friends if you have the time and energy for it. Or rather, if you have the time and don't have the energy for something else, right? That reminds me, I have to play Slay the Princess, because that's such an intimidating game. I've decided that it's like the best game I've played this year, and it's going to remain that way for the entirety of the year and also a little bit of last year, but not all of last year. But the thing is, it's